TV 111, Osei Kufuor, I'm back at y'all again. I ain't coming. I might give away a little something in this video, but I'm just letting y'all know I feel good. I'm at home. I'm taking a break from writing, just for the day, because there's a lot of things going on in my universe. A lot of people mad at me because I'm challenging them. It's fine. It's okay. Um, a mind without challenge is a mind that's dead. A mind without challenge is a mind that's dead. Do you hear me? See, sometimes when you can't see something, try to hear it. What I'm going to discuss with you today is something that you really have to have your antennas up on. When you can't see something, try to hear it. And when something is so mute to the point where you can't hear it, try to see it. This is why we're so infinite. Because our senses is one. We don't have many senses. We have one sense, which is greater than many senses. All right? This is my television. I'm sorry. Let me turn it down. Me and my queen went back to the 90s today, trying to play the R&B in the 90s. Today they playing stuff that really don't get your frequencies up. It's killing us on a lower megahertz, which is not alkaline. We talk about alkaline physical foods, but we don't talk about the alkaline spiritual foods, which is the music, the sounds, the tones, the things that our soul digests. You get what I'm saying? But there's things that we see that we can't see, and there's things that we hear that we can't hear, and it's all a part of us. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that sometimes fragments of ourself is moving around in bodies of other people. Fragments of ourself is moving around in bodies of the people. And this is why we are gravitated towards certain people in our life. But what we mess up at is we think that these people is supposed to be in our life forever. So what do? We marry these people. We get into relationships, and we fall into a spell, we fall under hypnosis to think that we're obligated. And the only thing that we're obligated to is what they bring us. We can't see what they bring us because we're so wrapped around to wanting to be in a physical picture of the matrix, to be seen with these people, to be with these people, as far as in a relationship, a physical relationship, instead of finding what they brought to us, what we lost in the past. Or to find what they brought to us, something that we use in the future. No, I'm not a psychologist, but a psychologist is one who studies the mind. I don't need to go to school to be able to initiate understanding of people who I'm connected to. I'm connected to everything around me. Everything around me is a part of me, but yet, as long as I see it as being something that's not a part of me, then guess what? There's a disconnect. It's like when you pick your phone up, there's a busy signal. You can't get through. So when we set up businesses, like earlier I was telling my queen this morning who was laying in the bed, and I was telling her, I said, a lot of elders sit back. And they get all of these organizations, these 501c3 organizations, nonprofit, these centers and rec centers. And what they do is they get it on the behalf of getting government grants. They don't get it on the behalf of elevating the youth. Because they can't see the youth as being part of them. And when you can't see the youth as being part of you, then you don't understand or understand that you are actually committing suicide to a future part of yourself, which is through that youth. And so guess what? You are leaving something behind that is stagnant. You are leaving something behind that is not healthy because your way of thinking was genetically modified. It was a processed form of food that you passed down to the youth, and now they're unhealthy. To keeping you alive, to keeping what you brought for them to be able to carry on alive so that they can build on it. We always want to be in the front. We always want to be the best. But we don't want to accomplish nothing. I'm coming back down on a realm. The other day I was thinking, you know what? Yes, I teach outside of, okay, we are not these things because these words is not a part of us. We existed before these languages. But I can come back down on y'all level. I can come back down on a realm where you can understand me. We need to stop as elders telling these young people how to live and what to do, but yet we're not giving them any type of seeds to be able to plant for themselves. I grew up in Lynchburg, Virginia, small city, and I grew up with a mother, very powerful woman, but a lot of people in the family would see her as being weak because they don't understand that destiny and fate has a script already written out for all of us, and that script contains failure. That script contains mishap, backslide. I don't care if you never change. But if we don't look for the thing that can help us to evolve from our parents, then we will forever hold a grudge against them because we are trying to mask something psychologically that they have put us through. Not knowing that we have a mind of our own to be able to take ourselves out of that thing that they have put us through. So once you get to a certain limit, which we call the outer limits, you see it as the movie, The Outer Limits. Once you get beyond the outer limits, which is an age, every age is a turning point. Every age is a road that we can use to step outside of being controlled by things from the past psychologically that has had us under a certain hypnosis. There's no need for us to cry now. There's no need for us to blame nobody for the situations that we're in because that makes you weak. And that takes away from your energy from being able to use what you've been through to get you where you need to be. All of us been through something. Don't get me wrong. And I ain't here to be a psychologist or your counselor. But I'm here because I'm a part of something that I can see. Not with these two physical eyes, but I'm a part of something that I can see with my mind. I went into my Pandora's box. This is what the Pandora's box is. And a lot of us have a lock on it from the conditioning of the thing that was given to us from a matrix that has an agenda, from certain bloodlines that is a part of this matrix. Just because the matrix is an illusion, don't mean that it's not real on another level. It's just not real when you allow it to be real. I'm going to say that again. It's not real when you don't allow it to be real. I have no hatred toward anybody out here. If anybody feel like I've been throwing shots out to anybody, then maybe you need to reevaluate yourself. Because on my son, I've never personally had anything against anybody other than to think for yourself. Now, if you take that into a court of law, I win. Why? Because I have videos where I exaggerate certain things past a certain point, but I don't exaggerate it to a point where it's false. See, exaggeration has certain levels. Again, the illusion can have its own jurisdiction of being real. Exaggeration can have its own jurisdiction of being real. So what I do is I add on to certain things that I see that need to be, because the we that we are calling to unite is not the we that we are seeing with the physical eyes. Many of you might not be able to see what I'm saying. Many of us are trying to unite with things that's our enemy. But we are so emotional by way of the foods, the megahertz and the frequencies, the negative electromagnetic waves of the things they are putting in the plants, the trees, the towers, the satellites. They send it through the cell phones, the televisions, that we can't see the real people that's in front of us. And then later on we see them through acts. You're supposed to be able to see the people before they act. People don't exist in human form. This is not us with fingers and toes and legs. This is not us. This is just a crutch that's helping us to, or assisting us to exist in a matrix. You are bigger than what you think. You are. The thing about me is I've never been fake to anybody. I've never gotten to this thing to teach pertaining to an agenda to get rich. Never that. Never have I done that. Because I'm a regular man. I'll never put anybody under me. Because without you, I can't be me. Yes, I can't get back to some of the people that message me and ask me questions. And this is why I give my phone number out. People say, why you giving your phone number out? Don't you know they can trace you? I don't care. I don't fear death. One thing's for certain and one thing's for sure. I know y'all say two things for sure, but remember I said the one. Other numbers can exist without the one. One thing for certain and one thing for sure. That the universe and my ancient ancestors are going to protect me as long as I'm being real in the craft that I'm proceeding to give to the people, in the craft that I'm doing to proceed and transfer to the minds that is ready to intercept and digest the things that I'm giving to it. So I don't worry. I don't worry. I don't know what death is anymore. I speak it. And when I speak it, yes, I make it a reality because everything starts in the mind. Every reality starts here. That's why I say a lot of us make things that we say a reality for them. But I speak it because there's certain people here that's still on that death frequency. So I got to come back with that master grip. Pull them out. Using that same frequency. You have to use a poison to cure a disease. So negative sometimes can be a positive. Positive sometimes can be a negative if you don't have a balance for any of it. Your yin and yang shows you the balance. Nature. You have to be relevant to yourself before you try to prove something to somebody else. If you're not relevant to yourself, then there's no need to try to prove anything to anybody. Because you are everybody. Somebody that's down on me, I can control them because I know that they're a part of me. So the way that I act reflects to them. So why they saying that Osei Kufuor ain't shit, if I respond in a way that I want to control the situation, then I don't see that person saying that Osei ain't shit. I see that person saying that Osei is the shit. It's all how you reflect people. You don't have enemies unless you make enemies. When I say unless you make enemies, I'm talking about unless you make enemies. Here, nothing can control you unless you allow it to have power through your mind. Everybody has a circuit to be able to control each and every component. Psychologically, physically, spiritually, mentally. That is in their jurisdiction. So no one should be weak. No one should have second thoughts about themselves. Look at yourself as being powerful. You are very powerful. Everybody is powerful. Don't let this brain trick you to thinking that you're supposed to be like everybody else, that you're supposed to be following everybody else. Don't follow me. My queen work. I ain't rich. She's a medical entity. Me, I rely on my book sales. I can't work because there's certain things within the legal jurisdiction that will apprehend me if I was to go into that jurisdiction. I can't do it, and I won't do it. I'm not better than any of you. I promise you on my son's life. I promise you, I've never sold out to anything or anybody. Let me tell you something. I went to prison in 2001, and you can look it up. Lynchburg, Virginia, for possession of a firearm and crack cocaine, 28 grams with intent to distribute. But when I came home, I went to school through Ashworth College in Georgia. It was an online course. You see it for yourself. I went to school for private investigation. This led us to confirm that Osei has successfully completed all required lessons for the private investigation career diploma program at Ashworth College. I began October 27, 2017. If anybody know how to get past certain entities here, you can call for yourself and get my information. I have nothing to hide from you all. And I could have went there and mastered the private investigation, got into the fraternal order of the American Bar Association, and just left everybody sleep that was in my domain that is now waking up. But I decided not to do that. I was offered money, but I decided not to do that. Again, my book is coming out. It's titled Cracking the Codes of the Matrix. Very deep book. If you can't afford it, I don't give a damn if you donate $1 or 50 cents. I'm going to send it to you. I'm about my word. I'll never change. I've always been loyal. Not that I'm a Scorpio.